Hello, listeners. I am Deepak Jotwani, Assistant Vice President and Sector Head at ICRA Limited. And through this podcast, I will be sharing our views on the likely impact of evolving macroeconomic headwinds on the Indian IT services sector. The Indian IT services industry generates close to 60% of its revenues from exports to the US and 25% from Europe. Therefore, it remains susceptible to macroeconomic uncertainties and any adverse regulatory changes in these key operating markets. ICRA's sample set of leading IT services companies reported steady YoY growth of around 20% in H1 FY23 in INR terms. However, the industry remains cautious of the macroeconomic headwinds in key markets of US and Europe, which, if intensify, could moderate growth over the medium term. While current healthy order book position from clients in the US and Europe will support growth over the near term, evolving macroeconomic headwinds may result in lower order inflows going forward. Management commentary across companies suggests that decision making on incremental IT spending has witnessed slight deferment, with focus shifting towards prioritizing critical projects. This trend appears to be most visible from clients in the BFSI sector, which remains one of the key segments for IT firms. The operating margins for the sample set moderated by around 200 to 250 basis points on a YY basis in H1 FY23 due to continued wage cost inflation and normalization of operational overheads. While wage cost inflation is likely to start tapering from the end of the current fiscal, margins will remain susceptible to any moderation in business performance due to macroeconomic headwinds. ICRA's outlook for the Indian IT services industry remains stable as the credit profile of Indian IT services remains comfortable, supported by healthy internal accrual generation and strong balance sheets. Despite the uncertain macroeconomic environment, ICRA expects minimal impact on the credit profile of most of the industry participants, wherein their profile continues to remain strong. However, that said, stretch in receivable cycle, especially for smaller entities and captive units, and any impact of debt-funded inorganic investments remains key monitorable for select issuers. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for our upcoming podcasts.